I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update.
Hit it.
Ding dong, the queen is dead. Long live the sausage-fingered king. That's right, people. One of the coolest, most uber-famous people on the planet Earth passed away at the fresh-faced age of 96 years old. And people seem to actually be surprised that she died. But if you know what numbers mean, she passed away because of 96. When I'm 96, be ready. I'm about to die. You know why? I'm 96. That being said, you have to admit it was a pretty amazing life. You know, living in absurd wealth, comfort, and having your every need taken care of. Who wouldn't want a palace butt wiper? I sure as hell would, especially when I was 96. Honestly, Bo, no disrespect meant. There are very few people in history that have been such a big part of our history. Queen Elizabeth lived a third of the time the United States existed, from before Elvis Presley all the way to after the 9th movie about Elvis Presley. During her grandfather's reign, Elizabeth was third in line for the throne. She was not expected to become queen, but then when her grandfather died in 1936, she became second in line to the throne after her uncle Edward abdicated after his proposed marriage to divorced socialite Wallis Simpson. And that provoked a constitutional crisis in England. That's right, her dad met a girl so amazing, he gave up being king. Here she is. She's the one without the fur. Really, dude? You gave up being king for her? Cool. Guess the heart wants what it wants. So, because of that, Elizabeth was next in line to be queen. When she was 18, she was one of 5 councillors of state at 18, and she trained as a driver and mechanic and was given the rank of honorary junior commander during World War II. She was crowned queen in October of 1951, and she reigned for 70 years. She dealt with wars and the shrinking of the British monarchy around the world. She was the first queen to speak to the United States Congress in 1991. Again, that was probably awkward.
Hello, England used to own all of this. Sorry about the war. We're cool now, right? High five.
All jokes aside, there's something cool and special about this little lady who was queen for 7 decades, a beautiful little royal Hummel who handled the changing world with class and grace. Even when we sent her the worst horror show of a human, and we did not send our best, we sent our criminals, our rapists. She rarely had a misstep. In 70 years, yet our politicians can't get through 2 years without Venmoing underage girls for companionship. Thank you, Queen Elizabeth, for showing us how to keep calm and carry on. Rest in peace. You know, I mean, after your 3-week funeral wraps up, God, they are working this dead woman to death. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Oh, man. God, I wish you would just let her. The funeral's longer than she reigned. Jesus Christ. So I guess if you're in charge for 70 years, then you got to die for 70 years? Hey, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast. Holy crap. Welcome to the show. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Hylinder.
There can be only one.
There can only be one. But, man, as there's only one of you, there's only one of Queen Elizabeth II. It's weird. It was weird that she died for me because you don't realize how much she's figured
it's
into
weird
our
that
lives.
she died for you, is how that sounded. It's weird that she died for me.
I asked her.
What?
I sent a request.
Like
I was
Jesus?
like, yeah. Queen Elizabeth died for me.
And your sins?
No, she. If you think about it, I don't remember a time when she wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know,
And also,
and you think 13 presidents? Was it 13 presidents? Some crazy number?
that's kind of comforting.
14 presidents.
To have
30% of the United States history.
Wow.
Keep going. We're just going to keep throwing facts in between every.
To have a constant, it would be nice if we had just a little old lady who was just always there.
Grandma. Just a grandma.
Little grandma.
That's what it was. She was kind of the world's grandma in a little bit. Of course, I wouldn't say that about India or some other countries.
So they might have different feelings.
Exactly.
About
My grandma's a bitch.
Scotland has some definite opinions
Scotland
about
has some
it.
issues. There was some video from Ireland where they were dancing in
Ireland.
the streets that she was gone.
She could have done a lot of things in her time and kind of repaired some things.
But wasn't
she didn't do it.
Wasn't all the troubles? Wasn't it during Thatcher?
Can I Well, there were a lot of troubles during Thatcher. What did John Oliver call the new Prime Minister, Liz Truss? He said she's like Margaret Thatcher if she were sniffing glue or huffing glue, something like that. By the way, we love John Oliver and he got an Emmy and we cheered.
Yay!
Yay! We should talk about the Jimmy Kimmel thing too. But point being, as a human being who was handed everything and afforded a lot of wealth and opportunity and future and promise and job and jewelry. I think she was really kind of a badass at the same time.
She held, like a lot of people, that kind of wealth and stuff would make them a dickhead.
Like her son.
Yeah, I'm not happy. King Sausage Fingers. I'm not really looking forward.
Yeah, what
to
the hell? What does he have? What is that?
I put that
heart
picture
circulatory
up.
problems.
It's heart. Like so.
I'm sure somebody will, who has.
So
a
one of
computer.
the other ones down the line is like TikTok. Like they're already getting dressed. They're getting the sash. They're already having the gold. William or who's going to take William or who's going to take it over.
It's going to be the really bald one. Not Baldwin, but
the
bald
really
one.
bald one.
Kate's husband. That's how I think.
Was
of
that
him.
the pegging guy? No.
Yes, Prince of Pegging. Don't look it up. I looked it up. Don't.
Yeah,
do
it's not. You don't want to know. You don't want to. I knew, and I was uncomfortable. For
Is
a
it
minute.
William? William. Not Harry. Although we like Harry better.
Harry, I think he'd be a good king.
William.
Very, very calm.
Was trending on Twitter about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And
Well, it's longer than that, but yeah.
Whatever. Of course it was, because we're married. And it's always
time
1
just
week.
becomes this long
no, it's
slog.
always 1 week difference or one number lower. I got it. And he was trending and I told him about it and I looked it up because I didn't know what pegging was.
Yeah, don't look it up.
And apparently it's what he enjoys. And so it was trending on Twitter, hashtag Prince of Pegging. And apparently he enjoys the pegging. And it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah.
What do you think it sounds like? Because I didn't know.
I don't know. It sounds like
someone straps on
like
a giant.
you have a walk.
Someone Jeff's on. Yeah, pirates.
You have like
fuck pirates.
That would have been more interesting than what I found.
Hey, me like the pegging.
He like one-legged
Arr,
pirate.
that
There you go. Take that, you little prince.
I got a lot of wood parts.
I'm so glad we live here, not in England, because they would literally be.
They're glad too.
I put in the thing about I put it like the only it was so embarrassing. You got this little old lady who literally is held up. She's the queen of England. She is
a little peanut,
and she's held it. She held it together for so long. She was in World War II. She fixed jeeps.
She fixed cars. Oh,
she fixed
right.
Jeeps.
Yeah.
She fixed jeeps and was a driver. And she when she was 14, she talked to the children of England during the war. She went on and to give them hope and like she was a good.
I definitely thought she was an alpha. She was an alpha chick.
Yes, I think
and
she was
her
a decent
daughter,
woman.
Princess Anne, who nobody's talking about, is as well. And it's funny because before the Queen died, I don't know why I'm yelling. That we were in Scotland with Grandma, and when we went on the Fingal that we've already talked about, the ship for tea. Yeah. The guy told us as he was showing us around that Princess Anne used to have a room on, remember?
Not the Fingal. The Fingal was the place we were there. That was the refurbished ship that we had dinner on. We went and saw the Queen went on the Queen's yacht. It's not called the Fingal.
No, I'm talking about the Fingal.
The Prince of Pegging.
Thank you, married
also
man.
Likes the Fingal.
When the Fingal.
Hello.
Hello, when you're pegging me, please use your
Fingal. So exactly what I said is what I meant. It was the Fingal ship when it was just a hotel before. She had an honorary room there and she came and helped them christen it, and it was Princess Anne's room before it became a tea room / hotel.
She didn't have a room on the
I'm sure on the
what the hell
Royal
was
Britannia. That
Royal
was their
Britannia.
pleasure yacht. I'm sure she probably did there as well.
Full on ship, dude.
Holy shit. My point being that on the Fingal ship, she had a room. And he said Princess Anne, and we were walking back to our youth hostel with the box. And I said, which one is Princess Anne? Yeah. And you and Grandma were like, I don't know. And so I looked her up, as I often Wikipedia deep dive, and I read about Princess Anne to you guys on the way back. And she sounds really cool. I'm sure people will have negative things to say about her, but she did it last year alone, I think 396 engagements. And she's old. And
Yeah, but everybody just comes to her, though.
She's been caught on a hot mic, which I really love, just talking pure shit about.
Oh, really?
Like,
Yeah.
she's kind of a badass, and she reminds me more of her mother than Princess Soft Big Hands does. So, anyway.
That's her daughter, right? She's 70.
That's her daughter.
And how come she? I don't understand why Princess Anne has kind of taken herself out of the. She's not.
She
really,
hasn't, but she's a woman, and I was going to bring this up. Now that the queen has died, she's the queen's, I think, second child.
Right, Andrew's first. Yeah.
Whatever it is, she's one of the queen's kids, and Charles is ascending to the throne. He's the eldest son.
Andrew's.
She is now 16th in line for the throne, even though she's
70.
one of the queen's children, just like Charles is.
Because she's a woman.
The only difference is Charles has a penis, but by the queen dying, now William and Kate's and Harry and Meghan's kids have gone into the line, the
male.
sons.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so she's now 16th.
It's 2022, and we're still talking about royal families with fancy chairs.
Well, that's just
ascending to the throne.
I kept yelling this at him during all of this news coverage that's going to last for 3 weeks. It's all made up.
Yeah.
Charles's costume that he puts on, I go, look at all those medals. They're all made up. And you said it's just an agreement. And it's true.
Yeah.
Everyone,
we agree that these people get to look like cakes, over-decorated cakes all the time.
Cake toppers.
Basically. They're human cake toppers, and they just walk around
with made-up flair.
Made up flair, a lot of flair. Exactly.
28 pieces
They're
of
just
flair.
nutcrackers.
That is the English Fridays. You go to English Fridays, they all look like that.
With giant fat fingers.
It's made up. And a lot of their military titles are honorary. So they weren't really.
See, that's why I don't know about the fixing cars.
She
Isn't that just
did,
a royal
though. Let's
photo
go
op.
see.
She did. She joined. Well, that was the war effort. She actually did. In fact, her dad, I was reading about it today when I was writing the Armageddon update. Her dad, the castle got bombed in England during World War II, and her father, the king, refused to leave. He said, "No, we'll stay here." But he sent the girls to Scotland.
The Queen's relationship with the armed forces began when, as Princess Elizabeth, she joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service called the ATS in 1945, thus becoming the first female member of the royal family to join the armed services as a full-time active member.
Yep.
Kind of badass. Chose to.
Yeah.
They didn't want her to, but she did.
No, yeah.
Like Elvis.
But I love that she had a
No,
sense
that's
of-
not exactly how Elvis ended up in the military. He didn't choose.
She had a sense of duty. I think she really did to her country. I don't know. I guess if I talk to any of the territories or the provinces that they overtook and violently crushed the rebellions in over the 50 years, I would say we'll maybe have a little different take on it. Yeah,
Here's some other bullshit. Harry, Prince Harry, and Prince grope underage girls allegedly.
Andrew.
Both of them were in the military, were in the army, but were not allowed to wear their military uniforms for this funeral la-di-da.
What's the rule?
Why not?
Because they are not working members of the royal family. So because Harry stepped down and because Prince Andrew was let go, they are
You're fired from being a royal.
they're
Why?
not allowed to wear the military uniform that they earned.
Pegging is fine, but you seem to hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. So.
But Queen Anne, Princess Anne, is an honorary member, and she was allowed to wear the military uniform, even though they were actually in and they weren't.
What is all this made up
Agreement.
bullshit?
It's
But also,
bullshit, yeah.
but how about like on Thanksgiving? All right, or for whatever they have at Christmas.
All right, we're passing out the rules for this year of how you can act, how you're supposed to be in the family.
It just imagine the list of rules that you have to be a royal. It's crazy. I liked. I was watching something on Harry. The reason he left, I guess his wife, what's her name? Meghan was because she's half black. They were like, I'm sorry, no, thank you. You're ruining the royal bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the press was thrashing her, and he came home. You can see the interview. You really get what a good duty is. You really get what a normal. His mom, I mean, Diana was his mom, and I guess she kind of told those kids, don't let this shit affect you, because she probably said it's all made up.
She forgot to mention pegging though before she was. She didn't cover that.
Don't do it. But he said that Meghan was, all the press was in England was just beating her up. Nobody was treating her with any respect. And she came to him one day. She said, "I think I want to kill myself." She was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And he said she was totally sane. He goes, she wasn't on medication. And she just said, "I just feel like it all the time. I don't want to live like this." And he goes, he said this, "We had a bit of a cuddle." What? Hello? And then he goes, and then they had to go to a charity event. And he goes, I look back on that day, and he goes, she had just told me she wanted to kill herself. And then because the rules are the rules with the royal family, that she had to get in a car and go and
first she got cuddled, which I'm sure she was really in the mood for after saying she wanted to kill herself.
Yeah, but we're men. We think
you're always in.
Hey, after this, you ain't gonna be. You ain't gonna be.
That's exactly
men.
the
That's men. Men are like that. Let me
explain this to you how this is going to work.
Let me a little sugar. You're gonna like it. You're not gonna. Hey, after me, you ain't gonna want to kill yourself. Boom.
So here's what I love about Anne. So Anne is the second child.
Right.
She came after Fat Fingers. She became an equestrian just like her mother. She won a gold medal and 2 silver medals. She became the first member of the British royal family to compete in the Olympic Games.
Wow.
She holds patronage in over 300 charitable organizations, dealing with health in developing countries, sports science, people with disabilities. She's been working with Save the Children for over 50 years, and she actually visits the projects. I told
she's
you
great.
and Grandma this story too. There was an attempted kidnapping of her at the end of the driveway of the palace one day, where people got shot, the driver and the bodyguard, remember? And the kidnapper told her to get in his car, and she is quoted as saying, "Not bloody likely," and refused to get in the car with him, and she didn't get kidnapped. She is known. She's known,
not bloody likely,
for refusing to have people do her hair and makeup. And dressing her and things like that, like her mother had.
So she doesn't have the royal butt wiper. She doesn't have that.
They call her over there royal rudeness because they say she's aloof and she's haughty.
I will say this: if you're in 300 charities, you go to 300 events a year, you're a badass. And maybe she's like, it sounds like the sister. It sounds like she didn't deal with the bullshit very well. Andrew likes the bullshit.
They say that she is also called a national treasure. She is a contradiction because she insists on doing her own makeup and hair, drives herself to engagements, having pleaded guilty to 2 separate speeding fines on account of being late.
I like her a lot.
So yeah, I kind of do too. And then I was trying to find the thing where she was being interviewed and caught on a hot mic basically calling a reporter an idiot. I'm trying to find that because she still said it with class, which I thought was kind of cool. I like her, but she's 16th now. So keep working hard. You still have a
Sounds
vagina.
like she doesn't care. Sounds like
that's a t-shirt. Keep working
16th?
hard, but you still have a vagina. Looks like my shirt says woman today.
But remember, you still have a vagina. It's going to be harder. Sorry.
Yeah. And then they're going to deny that it's harder. And if you try and complain about it, they're going to make fun of you and say that you're a transvestite.
What happened to the podcast? We just took a hard turn into women are oppressed.
Feminism.
Can I tell you this?
Please.
So I was...
or not.
I was...
I don't know.
No, you want to hear it.
Okay.
I was... just on Twitter, because as I want to do. Sorry for everybody I'm on so much. But Marjorie Taylor Greene went after OAC. And which is weird.
AOC.
Sorry, what I say.
You don't have to learn her name. She's a woman.
AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
See.
So, and 2 things bothered me about it. Number 1, she called her stupid. She said she was a bartender. Even women are shitty to women.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. Yeah, never mind.
What?
I was gonna say something not at all appropriate.
But I want to know as I get older and I realize that women are fucked over all the time. Like you have to deal with guys. You have to be like, I'm not afraid to walk out to my car at 1 a.m. I just walk out to my car.
Yeah, here we are.
Women have to do like a checklist of shit. All right, which can I run in these shoes?
Yeah,
no,
I gotta hold my keys like
I gotta
this,
hold my
like Wolverine.
Exactly. My keys are sticking through the second and third knuckle, so I can scratch his face. So even if I get raped and killed, he's gonna have a mark. Like,
did I bring my mace? Do I have my taser? Do I have my?
And then you go. Oh, and by the way, oh yeah. Oh, I do the same job as him, and I do it better, and I'm paid 30% less. Awesome.
And I'm smarter.
So I just want you to know, I apologize. I don't know if I can fix it. I can only talk about it.
You don't have to apologize. I can't stand. That's the other side. It's like how we talk about far left and far right. Is that I don't expect everyone to apologize if you don't do it. Right?
Right. True.
I mean, especially not if you've been an advocate, but you have been an advocate for women and all oppressed people, I think, in general. Contrary to what some people on your Twitter feed say.
I hate bullies, man. I hate bullies.
Yeah. But I did think that was super shitty because a lot of us worked our way. Well, those of us that went to college, Marjorie Taylor Greene, worked our way through college by bartending or waiting tables or whatever because you make more money doing that.
It was even worse than that. She actually she had a double major in economics and international business or international studies. And then her dad died. So while she's going to Boston University, she has to work as a bartender to help support her and her mom.
Yes.
And then she gets an award. She comes in second in an international Intel science fair. And they named the second prize was whatever money, scholarship. And then they named a comet after her. MIT did.
And then she became the youngest member of the House of Representatives. And then she got reelected. So it wasn't a fluke.
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's stupid. Motherfucker.
Well, that's like we talked about last week. They will use a success as a failure.
Yeah.
So
the positive thing.
Yeah, any positive thing, they're going to try to tear you down with it.
There's more immigrants coming across the border.
Well,
how do you know that? Because Biden's caught almost 2 million. I'm sorry, caught, apprehended. Is that the word? Like that's the last week we were like, I just don't. I don't get it. Speaking of caught and apprehended and people being dicks. This is a horrible segue because it's not about anything. We were watching the Emmys last night, and and we watched. Oh, was it Sunday? It was last night. It was last night.
Speaking of the Royals,
was it
last night was the night you were tweeting about it.
Oh, I got
the
mad.
Night before last.
Somebody, and you told me not to tweet about it. Somebody started going out. Did you see the Emmys at all? Did you see?
Nope.
Okay, so as a comedian, here's the thing: you do these shows, and everybody does the same thing. Everybody's either they're wildly off, whatever, being funny, or they're on the prompter and it's dead, it's thud, crunch, and then they go ba da 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 da, and then the guy looks at the thing, well ba 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 ba, and they try to do the jokes. It's horrible. Jimmy Kimmel, who is such a great guy. He calls people out on television. He was calling Trump out. When his kid had the heart issue, he came and talked about healthcare. He's a good dude. Jimmy Kimmel decides instead of doing what everybody else does, he has, and it's not Bill Hader, it's the other actor. He's been in a lot of stuff. He gets drunk. He goes, since Jimmy Kimmel's never won an Emmy, he's been in the Chardonnay backstage, and they drag him out by his feet to present. He's passed out. He's acting like he's passed out.
Such a commitment to a bit.
You're right. That's what I said.
The guy whose name we forget that had to drag him from the curtain all the way up. I mean, and by the time he got there, he was winded. It was hard because Kimmel's dead weight.
Yeah.
And we were like, no way.
Yeah, I kept going, there's no way when's he getting up? And he didn't.
Because the only way that it works is if he doesn't move the whole time.
He stays lying next to the mic while this guy presents the award. And in fact, he goes, the award. And the guy looks around, and it's in Jimmy's jacket. So he has to search Jimmy to get
And the joke is that he's been nominated and lost 13 times in a row. So he went and got into the skinny margaritas. It was just
that was a joke.
It was an interesting bit. It was different. we were laughing because of the commitment because we kept waiting for him.
Because as a comedian, literally to do that bit, you have to. There is no 99%. You're passed the fuck out. So he stayed down. The woman, very funny show, Abbott Elementary, gets the win. I didn't realize the lead actress also wrote it, which is awesome. She gets on stage. He had left Kimmel next to the mic, so she has to step over Kimmel. She said, "Thanks, Jimmy. Can you hold my phone?" And she drops her phone on his chest. It was really funny. I think it's funny. So she accepts the awards for it. And here's where I have a problem with social media and the fucking Dennises who go lose their mind.
boy.
The overwoke Dennises. They called Jimmy Kimmel racist. They said he destroyed her moment. That if it was that anybody else but a black woman,
White
you never
men
would have done it.
always-
And I'm like, he didn't
Oh,
fucking
okay.
know who was
Look,
gonna win.
We're not
Wow.
denying that white men have ruined
Yeah.
things for black
100%.
women forever.
As a white man,
But the point being, he's a comedian. He was doing a bit. Steve Martin was also nominated
Right.
for writing Only Murders in the Building. He didn't know who was going to win. He wasn't setting
Right.
out to do anything other than his job as a comedian and do a bit.
Right.
It happened that a black woman won, and he stayed committed to the bit and laid there,
the whole time.
which I
For
think
the rest of the show?
No,
until
okay. Somebody
his
pulled him
presenting
off.
time was over. But I think as a comedian is very Kaufman like in his commitment to
Yes.
that bit.
Yep.
And I had no idea that people were going to be outraged. I have to go to Twitter to find out everything I think is wrong. And so I went and I was very surprised at first. But then I thought, I see black women tweeting about it. And so then I thought, okay, I get that. And because that's who we should listen to about it. However, he wasn't intentionally doing it to a black woman. It was just a bit. I'm sure in hindsight, he wishes that the end of the bit would be for the guy to drag him away from the microphone or something. I'm
Right.
sure after I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right? The lady that won, Brunson, she said that they're friends and that they've talked several times since then. She said, I know Jimmy Kimmel. I felt like the bit didn't bother me that much. I don't know what the internet thinks, but I don't know. So she's appearing on his show on Wednesday night.
Of course, which I knew was going to happen.
Be before this comes out. She's reportedly told TCA attendees that she wasn't upset and that they've spoken several times since. And knowing him, I would bet he probably called her and said, oh my gosh, I didn't mean, I'm sorry.
I thought Steve Martin was going to win.
You're a black woman. I had no idea you were going to win.
Now that it would have been bad. But here's what bothers me the most about it, and this is when people always say, "What does overwoke mean?" Overwoke is, that your house is on fire and you're mad that there's all white firemen. There's no Asian firemen. That's you guys can't put this out until you get some Asian people. That's overwoke. What bothered me the most about it was these people instantly put on Jimmy Kimmel that he was racist.
Yeah,
and Jimmy Kimmel, of all people, and first of all, Hollywood in general is probably the least racist, most inclusive. In fact, I've sat in meetings. Now, great.
Right.
Now they're. I'm saying, but they're making up for the last
They're
5
scared.
years. They are making up for. They're doing everything. You can't even get a show pitched.
Plus, they get.
Yeah, Ted, we found that out. Yeah,
Zach
Ward, my brother Zach Ward, to us went off one day about what it takes. You
get tax deductions and kickbacks for minority representation, including LGBTQ.
Which is why in the movie Buzz Lightyear, his buddy in the movie in a cartoon had a wife. His female buddy had a wife.
Yeah,
which is weird. It was just weird. Not weird.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
It wasn't weird. What was it? It was surprising to see in a Pixar cartoon, and it was over real fast. But it was like, oh wow, they're doing this in a Pixar cartoon.
If you're ever going to change a culture, you need to make a financial incentive, right?
That is true. Same way. By the way,
no one's going to change.
So basically,
shit.
LGBTQ is basically the EVs of the
Right,
thing. You
exactly.
get a tax break now. You get a kickback if you're
gay solar wind.
You get a gay rebate.
Yeah,
That's what you call it. You get
So, again, I'll say that I do understand that, especially if a group of people has been put through something for a very long time, that if they're upset about it, I heard it and I was like, I do get that. But it wasn't intended, and
No.
I think so many things have to be looked at in context, right?
But there's also a lot of people with what's gone on in the last 5 years. There are some motherfuckers that need to be beaten up every day for being racist, and Jimmy Kimmel is not one of them.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean by context, looking at who the person is, who they are around those issues all the time.
Right.
And really, most importantly, did he know that it was going to be a black woman winning, or was it going to be 4 of the other, white people or whatever?
Well, yeah.
And
the one thing about comedy is you can't. He couldn't look at the nominees and go, "Oh man, can't do that bit. What if she went? It's comedy. You can't.
And that's what kills comedy. And so
Yes.
it's exhausting.
It's like you have to decide how long do you stretch a bit past somebody's award? Like this, their time. Do you keep the bit going? Is it a distraction
but he was dead
from
on
the
the
award?
floor.
You have to do it. You have to keep it going. So we discussed how to fix the bit. And you drag him this far away from the mic.
You prepare for
Yeah,
it by
he's way
saying
in the
no matter
background.
who wins,
And then if you're in the control room, you go,
don't
guys,
leave him right in front of the
guys,
microphone.
get a camera, shoot over Kimmel to her. That's what I would have just got on the guys. Just give me one shot over Kimmel to her while she accepts her award. We'll just use it for 2 seconds because that would have been really funny.
And what would have fixed it is he's not in the way. And
Right.
what it was funny at first when the guy who dragged him out, she was going to try and get to the mic, and the guy opened his legs so she could step through them. And then she said, "Hold my phone," and put it on him, and he did break because he gave a thumbs up, and that was kind of a break. But if you're gonna drag someone on stage for the Emmys, don't leave them in front of the microphone. But he didn't mean it. The context is that's not who he is. He didn't mean it. He didn't know she was gonna win. Stop being weird.
But I think we should all be aware of everybody's. We should all be aware and sensitive of people's things, LGBTQ, minorities. I get it. There is a point where it's gone so far, and I think it's easier to go after someone like Kimmel than if you go after the right because they'll just come back at you hard. Kimmel's not going to do anything. Anybody and Kimmel is really kind of one of the most woke people. If you think about it, he's and I don't think when did woke become a bad thing? Because the opposite of that is fucking asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm aware of people and other things and care. Yeah, I'm woke. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But overwoke, it bothers me. Overwoke, there's a point where like nothing was meant. Nothing was there.
Context.
There was nobody attacked and you're still mad. Like, shut up.
Context.
Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. So what Princess Anne said, because I just want to tell
What you said.
She was in a meeting for the 2012 Olympic Games in London. And they were all mic'd with all the high ups and stuff. And this guy interjected whatever she was saying. It was really long. One of the committee members called it long-winded. She forgot to click her microphone off and said, "I think this person is probably the most stupid person in world sport." And then the great thing about it is that everyone stopped and looked, and she was like, "Carry on." And she just kept going as though it had never happened.
Yeah,
She
I
just
like it.
smiled, and I kind of think
Right,
she's a
I
badass.
said it. So what?
So I'm here lobbying on behalf of Princess Anne.
Mhm.
She should be number 2 in line because she was born after him. That's all I have to say. Actually, no. Monarchy is bullshit. We should just...
There you go.
But
we need to be done with that.
But here's how hypocritical it really is. When you think about like someone Xi in China goes, "I'm president for life," and we go, "You're a dictator. You're an authoritarian dictator." I almost said the word wrong. And yet we'll let the royals. Oh yeah, you guys are kind of in charge ceremonially forever. Okay, like there's such a weird. I guess they're also not killing, other parts. Yeah, they were.
I guess
yeah,
in
they
that
were.
case, it's more symbolic, right? Like that's
Well,
who I don't know their government system. They have parliament, right? And
Yeah.
they're the ones that are actually running things. And then
Can you look at this?
The royal
so we
family
can
is just-
explain because Americans we're so horrible at shit like this. Can you look up how they?
we're in America. We don't know any other countries.
So Parliament is order.
Yeah.
Like we got
Yeah.
that. I just
Wigs.
love that guy,
Right, and they have a prime minister.
right? Yeah,
Right.
Prime Minister, but he's really the president, really, right?
Yeah.
So he's really the president,
She.
or she. And right now she's a she. And then they had their version of Trump last time. What's weird to me is that like they'll quit over. He had a party during COVID, and they were like, "You need to go. You need to vacate the job," and he did.
Yeah.
He fucking did.
Yeah.
We have a dude that basically tried to overthrow the
Who
government.
stole nuclear documents.
Stole nuclear documents.
Mhm.
Tear gassed that square in Washington to hold a Bible.
Committed
next to
every
a closer.
crime possible
Pretty
in the
much,
States.
Possibly,
Mhm.
yeah. His buddy, the pedophile, ended up suiciding himself. Out of the blue, and he's cheated on his taxes. Everything he said that he would do, he hasn't. And now we supposedly have nuclear secrets gone. Like it's and that guy's still gonna run for president in 2024. Like the fuck is going on? And Boris Johnson got busted because he had a party during COVID. It just doesn't make.
I assume there's more to it than that, but
He lied about it.
So they reign, they don't rule.
Right.
They no longer have a political or executive role. They act as a focus for national identity, unity, and pride, gives a sense of stability and continuity. But I think that this is still ceremonial. The monarch can use their powers to appoint and dismiss prime ministers, to summon parliament, and give royal assent to the bills passed by parliament.
So they do have some power.
Signifying that they have become law, but parliament already passed them.
Wow.
They give royal assent. So it just sounds like it's all very ceremonial. But Liz Truss did go to Balmoral in Scotland.
Right, because the Queen's last thing was
2 days before was to appoint her prime minister. But it seems to me that parliament already decided, and that's how she got the train ticket to get there.
When we were in Scotland, what I really got about Americans are not pragmatic. We are reactive. You say, I want to take your guns. You fucking Second Amendment, man. And in Scotland, in the UK, we noticed that everybody's very pragmatic about stuff. Where they're like, yeah, right, a bunch of people get shot all the time. We should probably not have guns.
Yeah, thoughtful.
Right? Yeah,
we're introspective.
Yeah,
Thinking it through.
That one guy, he filed for bankruptcy even once. He can't become the leader of a nation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's compromised.
You can't run a fucking Costco. You can't.
I was like, oh yeah, we were still stuck on all the other constitutional violations, but that's a good place to start. Yeah,
but they would just break it down over there very, very simply. He's a bit of a knob, yeah. And you're like, yeah, he goes, well, then why is he president? Because we have a country full of knobs.
We're idiots.
Just FYI, speaking of knobs, Christopher Titus's newest special, Zero Side Effects, is still available on Moment House. You can go to ChristopherTitus.com. It's still a moment. So it'll say once you purchase it for $15, it'll say replay the moment, which is just you watching the special on Moment House. At the end of those days, I think it's 10 more days from when we're recording right now, 9 or 10 more days, you will receive a download link to own it. So what you're basically doing if you don't watch it now on Moment is you are buying the special to own.
And you can preview it right now.
Yes.
Speaking of knobs.
As many times as you want.
Speaking of knobs,
I am offended, young lady.
Oh, I meant Ken, not you. Him.
Guys, the special. Please do me a favor. Go to ChristopherTitus.com. Like we do this. We do that. We don't have a Patreon. We don't charge for this. We do content all the time. So do me a favor. Buy the special. Array's special. Alpha Chick is also on Amazon. It's on
Amazon and Tubi and Google Play.
Go review it on Amazon.
If you watch it, go to Amazon and watch it and give me a review, because that helps. I don't get paid for a review, but it just helps it gets shown more often.
Speaking of knobs,
you can go see my special. It's not the one I'm doing now in person. It's Alpha Chick.
And also in Boston, guys, we're going to be in the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Hartford. Funny Bone has 6 tickets left for the 22nd, which is Thursday. And then
Tupelo
Friday
Theater.
is Tupelo Music Hall in Derry, New Hampshire. And then Saturday is the Wilbur Theater in Boston. One show only each night.
Yep.
So come see us.
Carrion Monsters. This is by far the darkest thing I've ever written. I was really surprised at how Scotland reacted to it. Because Americans we are incredibly
way more screwed up.
We are. I really got about the third show. Oh, we are so used to having like your life, my life.
Yeah.
Like we've had we're used to dysfunction and nightmare in America. Right. They're not. They've been around longer.
We're used to it so much that we can laugh about it.
Yeah.
And other people feel like, oh my God, this is a documentary.
I kept saying that. Like people go like, oh Jesus Christ. They were like in the middle of a joke. Oh Jesus Christ, it really happened? Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about all this.
I did too. What was I thinking? How fucked up am I? Like I really started to
I was laughing about this 5 minutes ago.
I seem to everyone else is upset. But guys, go to ChristopherTitus.com, get those tickets for Zero Side Effects. I have never rarely I don't think it's ever happened. I have never been happy with the special right after we did it. And I watched it.
Was great.
We watched it on Saturday and I was like, oh, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that night I watched it, I thought you were the best I've ever seen you. And you have to understand, I've been watching him perform since 5th annual End of the World tour live on the road over and over and over and over and over every night several times a night sometimes.
You sensed
She's
some
very-
tone. And they're like,
I
that's
started
one more
to go down
over.
the
That
well,
was a
Yeah.
little.
Don't sound so tired when you explain it
and
over
I
and
always
over.
think that he's brilliant, and I always think that he's the best comic that you can go and see
Aw.
alive and out of a lot of the dead ones. But and actually still the dead ones, because you are an evolved version of a lot of those that are held up as being the best of all time.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you're so nice to me.
so that night, though, I walked out, didn't I, saying that was the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was insane. And
Yeah.
then you got to watch yourself
Yeah.
on
Well, Zach
Saturday,
Ward-
and
Zach-
you were laughing at
Zach,
yourself.
who was the first person to dentist
Yeah.
me on a performance. Zach, Zach, who played my brother on Titus. Zach will come out and be like, man, here's why that you should have done this, and this. And he just he called me and he was
Yeah.
like, he goes, I have never. You were calm and you were on top of your game. I've never seen you that good. So please do me a favor, guys. Go to Moment House, get it. Think of it as your contribution to us keeping the podcast going, and I really appreciate all the kind words everybody said. People were like. Some of this stuff is a little overwhelming that they said about it.
And we
but I
had
appreciate it.
fun. We did the meet and greet. They
That
had
was fun.
They had a thing on Moment House, and so we
Glitch.
thought quickly on our feet and instead zoomed everybody together, and that was really fun. We got to meet some really cool people. We heard some really tough stories.
Yep.
You got serenaded beautifully
Yes,
by
yeah.
someone who was at work at their desk.
She's a dispatcher for a truck company. And
She was on the
sang.
clock.
Yeah, that was.
It was
How good did
badass.
she sing?
Yeah, it was amazing.
How good is she? It
She
was
sang
crazy.
at last for everybody on the Zoom. It was even on that crappy computer microphone. We were like,
And here's the thing: is that like there's some people that are fans, and I love them all, but they are I don't call them fans; they're friends. And they will do something to perform, and you're like, oh, it's really sweet. And she goes, "Can I sing to you?" And we all kind of went,
everyone
yeah,
on
go-
Zoom even.
yeah, everybody kind of went, and then she starts singing, and holy shite, was it good! She was sitting into her headphones. She had her headphones on at her job
And just tore it up.
Tore it up. And
Yes.
from a singer. Yeah, she
Yes.
tore it the fuck up. It was awesome. It was great. So, guys, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. What else is going on in the news that we have? We've got...
I just want you guys to know that this episode is brought to you by one of our OGs of advertising, Harry's. Harry's Razors,
which I used yesterday. Still
Harry's.com.
perfection.
Used the same razor for 3 years now.
No, don't do that. Don't use the same
Look.
razor. But the thing is, you actually
You can.
could.
About a month. I mine lasts about a month.
That's what blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they think the user life on them is, but I use mine and I shave every day.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're always
A lot of in surface area. Like I just have this.
My legs, it
Yeah,
takes
yeah, yeah.
forever. And I probably use a razor probably 3 weeks,
Yeah.
3 to 4 weeks.
And that didn't happen before.
And
we
even
got
then
Harry's.
it's still, no, the old ones you would use like within
times?
5 to 6 days. And that at the end, it was like, ow, ow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Even
oh, yeah, yeah.
when you switch
Mhm.
these razors, they still feel good.
Yep.
You're just like, oh, it's not as it was.
I just say it's time. I feel like it's almost like changing your oil. Like, car's running,
Yeah,
but I gotta
yeah.
change it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Harry's, all their.
Oh, and talk about the price versus the,
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
like the
Ridiculous.
drugstore ones.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you don't need a keeper with a key. Can we get somebody to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
toiletry aisle?
gonna need some with the combination to the razor safe, please. We need to get some razors. Someone wants razors.
They're saying their new thing is
Like a top
because
shelf razor.
our
Yeah.
schedules are getting so busy. Harry's is the official sponsor of Cutting It Close. Hey.
Hey, all right.
You know how long we've been saying Face the Day?
Mhm.
That actually my dad created.
Oh,
And years ago, we started saying that my dad called me and said, well,
like 5
Harry's,
years ago,
Face the
right?
Day. I got an email a couple weeks ago from Harry's. Not personally, it was like because I actually use their product, so I get product
Mhm.
emails. It said "Face the Day" at the
She
top
was
of it,
kind of mad.
and I was like,
We were plagiarized. Are they?
Steer!
Harry's took our freaking ad.
"We love Harry's; they can have it."
Yeah.
So Harry's, you get with the shaving kit, you get the blades that we already talked about, made in a German factory, the best, smoothest, closest, sharpest shave you will ever have.
Yep.
You get that weighted, ergonomic weighted handle. With that, you get the travel blade cover, which I didn't used to use because I didn't get it, and now I can't live without it because it lets it dry,
Yep.
it breathes,
Yep.
and you get the foaming shave gel. And all of that comes in a really nice box, so it looks like it's already wrapped because
Yeah.
we're
And
starting
we're heading towards Christmas,
Yeah.
so order a couple of them.
The Harry starter set starts at $3, and their refill blades are as low
What?
as $2 each. It comes delivered right to your door, but you can also get them now. You get some of their stuff at Target, right?
I don't just get some of their stuff. I only have Harry stuff. I use the body wash. I use the
Yep.
I because the hair gel, the hair paste sells out. I go into stores all the time. I have a stack of them. I have like 5
He
in a
does.
stack in the bathroom just because there's going to be Armageddon one day, and I want this to poke up like this.
Yes.
There's that, and then I use the face wash.
We have the
I
hairspray, the
use
gel.
face wash. I use the face lotion and
Mhm.
the body lotion.
Wyatt's
They
first
do now
razor.
have body lotion, which is the shit.
Yeah.
I got Wyatt his first razor
You
of
did?
his life is a Harry's razor, and his
Aw.
first deodorant when he because he's hitting.
Oh, I use
puberty.
that too. I use
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
there's
the
2 different
deodorant.
kinds. Yeah.
The stone. I don't know
Yeah.
if it smells like stone, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
the scent
I
is
like
stone.
the stone
It's nice.
and redwood. Those are my 2 favorite. Is Wyatt shaving now?
No,
It's
but
kind of
he does have a little thing,
But
He's
it's
got a
like
little bit.
a father-son.
yes.
Yeah,
like,
yes, exactly.
It's coming. It's,
Oh, that's so cute. That's
Yeah.
like giving
It's a great
your
idea to name
daughter
your-
tampons.
Yeah, oh my God, no!
No?
It's a great idea to name a scent stone because what does stone smell like? You
Right.
can't miss on that one.
that appeals to everyone. I'm like a rock.
They're your body wash, the big size.
Yep.
The things are huge. It's like this, and everything is so inexpensive. It's shocking. So I always use that stuff for like stocking stuffers for everyone
Mhm.
or Easter basket stuff. But every day I'm in the shower, I'm reading about redwood, the scent,
Yeah.
because it's a long description about walking through a forest, the
It's good
great
stuff.
redwoods,
You
and
know what I have noticed? There's like 4 or 5 different companies that have totally bagged.
you
on
keep
their
saying
packaging.
that they're stealing from.
They
Harry's.
stole the packaging. It's just a different color, but it's
Yeah.
the same writing. And I'm like, you sons of bitches.
Even some of the big like mainstream
Yes.
Yes.
brands.
They're
Yeah.
trying because
Yeah.
they
Harry's
They
got
sound like,
beaten.
mhm,
But the
that
product's
one.
not better. The Harry's products are the best. Anyways, that's what I'll leave
they
it at
got beaten like a piece of meat in Rocky.
that. Yeah, and they were like, we better do what they're doing.
That's from Zero Side Effects,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is that Zero Side Effects or is that Carrying? No, that's Carrying Monsters.
It's Carrying Monsters, yep.
New show, gotta come see
Held
it.
me upside down and
so-
beat me like I was meat in a Rocky movie.
Yep. So right now you can get Harry's starter set for just $3. Plus, you'll get a free travel size body wash, which we've been raving about. That includes the 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and the travel color cover. It's $16 value. You get it for just $3. All you have to do is go to harrys.com/bombshell. That's harrys.com/BOMBSHELL.
Do you know what they do? You know, it's weird because $3 is crazy for that.
And the
Is that-
free
yeah,
body
but
wash.
also, it's like the drug dealer selling the blue
Totally.
meth.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
like, hey, here, this $3.
Try
Yeah, don't worry
this.
about it.
It's on me.
Yeah, psst, it's $3.
You'll be back.
Yeah. No, we trusted. We'll see what you think. And then next thing you know, like, you guys have more of that. I actually go to
Mhm.
stores now for the pear paste. I'm like, oh, they got one left, and I snag it.
Can I tell you too? And I know this is the longest ad ever.
Oh, we're done with the ad. I just enjoy the stuff.
So I love their customer service. Like I said, I really am a customer. I pay. They don't give us free stuff. I buy the stuff.
Yes.
He buys the stuff. And my whole family uses it, extended family. And all of my
Yeah.
experiences, they were doing a bundle sale thing where a bunch of things, and I bought it. And the shampoo that you also use, the shampoo conditioner
I have
combo.
2 different kinds of Harry shampoo. That's right.
Well, one of them came and the cap had cracked. And it was still mostly full, but I emailed him and just said, hey, I just want you to know that this was cracked and I still have the product, but and instantly got a response from a human being, not a robot. And
From Harry?
yes,
Yeah,
from
Harry
Harry.
called. Harry
nice.
himself.
And they
Oh, we're
said, we've already sent you a replacement at no charge to you. Thank you so much for being a customer. My brother called me last month, told me that he had gotten something. I forget what it was. He didn't like the smell. And he goes, I just had to let him know that it wasn't my favorite. And I'm like, okay. He emailed them and they sent him a $20 voucher to use at Target to get something else. It's
That is
insane.
FU money. That's literally FU money.
Yeah, exactly. Go use this. The
There you
voucher that
There you
says
go.
I complain about everything.
Sorry, the scent wasn't to your liking. Leo, let me take care of you.
You don't like stone, huh?
But the customer service is,
Yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
think, really why they have stayed on top.
I also believe that any company, and this is now we're out of the ad, but I want to be any company that takes care of you, I will go back to repeatedly, even if they fucked it up, as long as they took care of it, you know. And there's so many times.
Well, they do. This is a no risk trial, so
I'm
if
just
you don't
talking-
like it,
Yeah.
it's on
But
them.
I'm talking about any company. How
Yeah.
come we've got to this place where so many companies have this attitude that if you don't like it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Well, that's kind of people now,
That's,
right?
that's monopoly.
yeah,
That's,
we gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about I think so Trump. They're not. Why haven't they arrested Trump yet? I don't understand it. Because
Enough already with the.
Well, no,
let's
there's
go to keep. Be
here's-
careful of
here's the
democracy.
weird issue. You want to talk about monarchy and shit that's made up? So supposedly, the DOJ and the FBI is not supposed to do anything political or go after anybody political between 90 or 60 days before an election, 60 to 90 days before election. And I think back to the 3 days before the election was happening, or 12 days, when James Comey
thing.
when
Yeah.
Comey came out and said that she's still under investigation. He didn't say she was guilty. He said she's still under investigation.
Yeah.
James Comey fucked this country in that one moment, repeatedly.
Yes.
And he always says, "Oh, if I had anything to do with it, fuck you, bro.
know you
You're
did.
not a moron. You know you did." So now we've got a guy, and here's what I don't quite get. I don't understand how this guy still has anybody backing him. They found that there was nuclear documents in those. They said it was secrets of another country. But it could just as easily have been our nuclear defenses. It could have easily, it just mean he could have sold. How much would that be worth to Russia or China to go, by the way, here's what we do to defend against nuclear missiles. Here, you guys can start going around. How many billions would that be worth? Because they got 2 from Saudi, and then Mnuchin got another 1 billion. So $3 billion Saudi paid to Trump's administration after they got out of office. And that people are still like, yeah, man, you know, it was just a storage issue. It's not treason is not a fucking storage
It
issue.
makes me sick how they are willing to explain everything away. And like I said,
No matter what, too.
a lot of people, including family members, have doubled down. And that's what it undermines all of your arguments after that. If you can't even just look at this and say it was against the law. There's actually laws in place that are in black and white.
Espionage.
That he broke the law. And you guys have to remember too, like subpoenaing Mike Lindell's seizing his phone in the Hardee's drive-through, the pillow guy.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard this.
Yesterday?
Oh, this is so. Here's the level of dude that Trump
But
deals with.
let me
Go
just
ahead.
finish that thought. My point was that it undermines all of your credibility.
Right. Yeah.
If you guys would just say he can't do that. That's messed up.
Not
and that's
only-
wrong, and he needs to face whatever is going to happen to him for that.
We should be not only arresting him, but we should be building a fucking supervillain prison just for him.
But do you know what I mean?
And the people around
Do
him.
you know what I mean? Yeah, I supported him. I liked his, policies that were enacted during his presidency, but this is not okay, and he needs to face
But turns out
the
I was
investigation.
wrong.
And I was wrong, but I'm still conservative. I'm still voting for the
Right.
conservative
There you go.
nominee.
Yes.
But they don't realize how ignorant this makes them look. Anyway, tell about the Mike Lindell thing.
So
which
here's
has-
the level of dude that hangs out with Trump. So Mike Lindell, the pillow guy, who, by the way, the worst pillows ever. They're filled with like the worst crap. A buddy of mine makes pillows, a doctor, and they're badass. Lindell, it's just filled with crappy old. Do they go to a land?
it's
Files?
chips of
Chew-
phone.
chew the files?
It's literally
Yes,
There's
straight up.
rat teeth.
Cremated,
Why is there rat
Ivana.
teeth in here?
Ivana.
So
You
whatever.
don't know.
So it's just horrible. He's in a Hardee's drive-through, which right there, like, dude, why is this guy who's worth $300 million in a Hardee's
You
drive-through?
might like Hardee's. I
But
got no
okay,
problem
that's
with
fine.
that.
That's fine.
They still make Hardee's?
Grandma loves.
It's Carl's Jr. here, but yes,
Grandma loves a good.
fluffy biscuits,
Arby's?
pillowy biscuit.
Some kind of spicy chicken, something, or but she still goes to.
Okay, so Hardee's is not
Shoney's?
bad. I'm just saying, Hardee's is a fast food place.
Correct.
Okay, so he goes through the Hardee's, and they must have been tracking him because he gets out of Hardee's, he gets out of the drive-through, and he goes, "We had to go wait for our food." Car comes up behind him, blocks him in. Another car comes up next to him. It's the FBI, and they took his fucking phone. They took his phone in the Hardee's drive-through.
That's awesome. Holy shit.
There's something about it that goes, listen, if the FBI takes your phone in the Hardee's drive-thru, you need to question your life.
Yeah.
You need to sit down and do an evaluation of what you've done.
But anyway, they seized Mike Lindell's phone, and my point about that was a judge has to review evidence in order to sign off on that.
Yeah, they're not guessing.
Just like with Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
And that means that they had probable cause to seize his electronic devices.
We got him at the Hardee's.
Which means
Close
they
it in.
already have what they
For
want.
dumb people, I'm going to say that means they already have evidence that Mike Lindell committed crime.
Mhm.
That's why they got it. It wasn't, he may have committed crime. Let's get his phone. That's not how that shit works. They have fucking flat out evidence that Mike Lindell committed a crime. So they took his phone. And then Mike Lindell says, I don't use a computer. That's all I have. So you made it dumber? You actually your response is actually dumber than you could possibly be?
I'm confused how you run a business
Then-
without a computer.
Exactly, the pillow guy. So, and the pillow guy became one of one of his top advisors. Like, I don't get like how bad have we gotten as a country that? Because to me, a powerful person just goes, when they're wrong, they're wrong. When I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know that. I'm wrong. Holy crap, I made a mistake.
Right.
It's stunning to me that these people cannot admit they're wrong. Instead, they think that John F. Kennedy Jr. is coming back from the dead. Didn't you say Trump went full Q yesterday?
He on Truth Social has now retruthed. He's been, since this Mar-a-Lago thing happened, starting to retruth
QAnon
stuff. Well, he just retruthed yesterday. It's a Photoshop picture of him with a Q pin on his lapel, and across the top of the picture, WWG1, WWGA, where we go one, we go all, which is the QAnon
Oath Keeper
slogan
whatever it is.
thingy. He's retruthing that picture of himself, putting it out there. So he's full Q now, all the way in, which is dumb because at the basis of all of Q's beliefs
Right.
is that back already, Trump was going to be reinstalled as president.
Repeatedly. They kept picking
And it
dates.
never happened. So they even gave up on themselves.
February 1st, he's going to be president. Joe Biden's going to be out.
JFK Jr. was
He's
going
really
to show
president.
up.
JFK Jr. is going to be his vice president. And August 15th.
No,
last
November
year.
11th.
Last year.
No, December 12th.
Yeah.
So,
Just
but
keep moving it.
he's not.
keep having to move it. for
He's
reasons.
reviving them though, so that's
Well, maybe
starting to stir up again.
But don't you find that that's the last desperate attempt?
That's what I was going to say. That's maybe a good sign. That's all he has left.
Yeah, and he's also trying to, because those are the crazy fuckers. Those are the ones that storm the Capitol. Those are the ones that are going to stand up when they arrest him. How do they do this? Because you know there's a million meetings going on. Like, we've never arrested a former president. This dude is crimed at a level that is beyond mob boss. He's like, and speaking of mob boss, did you see that? They also, everybody freaked out this last week because on Sunday, Trump flew to D.C.
Oh, yeah.
Flew to DC wearing golf shoes and shit. So I think it was last minute. Whatever, it had to be last minute. Whatever happened, he got a phone call. You got to get there. The next day, they're on the 11th hole, with 8, 9 guys. Nobody has golf clubs. They're all in golf carts. Nobody has golf clubs, and they just stand around talking. All the guys got their hands on their hips and looking at the ground.
That's what I said. It looks like a very compelling Viagra commercial. so sad.
They all look disappointed. They all look really sad.
That's somebody that thinks that his clubs are bugged.
Yeah.
Wired.
Yeah,
and
that his
so
building is-
meet me
yeah.
out in the middle of the golf course. Nobody brings phones.
Let's don't make it obvious, though.
Right.
There's no golf clubs.
Are
No
your
one-
documents limp?
No one have golf. But so he had this giant meeting. Whatever happened. Something's going on. So how do you sit around and figure that out? How do you sit around and go, okay, we've never arrested a former president before. This guy obviously is crimed at a level that we can't even imagine. He's committed espionage. We send Snowden away. Snowden's living in Russia. We've got a reality winner that went down. There's a list of guys. I went and looked it up on Wikipedia. There's a list of dudes that got life in prison for 2 documents. 2. They sold them to a foreign agent. This dude has crimed so hard. Now they have all these rules in place that aren't really rules that, okay, we can't do anything till the midterms. Fuck that.
Yeah, some made up shit. Who gives a shit?
Well, but how much more? I mean, they've got 45 folders that were empty. How much more shit is he going to sell before in 60 days?
Well, they've now said that to the judge, that delaying any further, because all he's doing is delaying. That's how he does every court case.
Always
he just
has.
keeps things in court forever until people forget about it and whatever. But he's trying to get this special master, and he said that the intelligence community should not be able to review those documents, and that investigation that the DOJ is performing could not continue until after the special master reviews everything, and they estimate that would take at least 3 months. So DOJ filed, they clapped back and said some
This judge
really
is a
well
clown.
written briefs, but said in this most recent one that would cause a threat to the national security.
Yeah.
Can we
of
just
the
say,
United
nah,
States.
we're just going to come get you?
That-
We've had enough of this
Well,
shit.
they're going to take it to an appellate court.
So
if
my
she-
question is this. So let's say that happened. Let's say they arrest him because he needs to be arrested. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You've actually committed espionage. You've taken documents. And again, those documents that he took, the SCI, whatever top level ones, the only way to get those is a dude takes them out of a safe in a skiff, hands them to you. He stands there while you look at him, a military guy. You read them, hand them back. He puts them back in the safe.
Mhm.
How the fuck did he get those out?
Why don't we just get him on any other thing like fucking Al Capone?
We do. We have all
Steve
kinds
Bannon.
of...
What-
Dude, we have... Steve Bannon's in jail still? Or did he get it? Did he bail out?
I'm not sure.
I
Let's
asked about
go
that.
find
So
that
Bannon
out.
gets arrested because he took $10 million. Him and his crew took $10 million from people. And that's another thing. They actually were going to this, they just found out yet this week that the $250 million he made for the Stop the Steal fund, he actually put out, and I get them. I am actually signed up for it. I get on one of my emails, my lost email that I don't use. How many do we get? 10 a day?
Still?
At least.
They're
yeah,
still
fuck.
asking for money.
Fuck
Oh,
yes.
all day.
Oh, yeah.
And
No
it's here. Let me
fucking
go
way.
to
Yeah,
it.
the Trump one. Oh yeah, and dude, so it said so he got 250. You guys, people that support this
Let's
man,
see what's
How is that
happening
still legal?
today.
it's not. That's the problem. So he asked for 250. So he got $250 million in the last year for the Stop the Steal for the fund to Trump Defense Fund. Guess what? There's no. They
Ready?
found out there's no. Trump
Yet they can,
Defense
There
they can
is
still
none.
ask? They're
But
still asking?
he
Not
doesn't
for
give a
that
shit.
specifically anymore. This top one from just a few minutes ago, the fake news getting worse every single day with periods. The leftist media and its Democrat comrades are rampant to paint false pictures of you and me. Look, they're
No,
not,
no,
yeah,
no.
just me.
Yep.
So I'm fighting to shut down the fake news, but I can't do it without you. I'm collecting critical patriot data via my official survey, and I need your input. So you have to click on yes or no, and it takes you to a donor page. That's how you.
This is some cosplay
And
shit.
but here's what he did. So on the donor page, and I don't know if they stopped doing it. So if you say I'm going to donate $5, well, without doing it, there's another page. It'll take your money there, but it doesn't send you directly to the next page that says, "Do you want this to make recurring?"
It
signs you
automatically
up
checked.
Automatically.
So all these old people had lost a lot of money,
And you
and
can't
there's
see the fine print.
actually some of it he had to give back already because people took it to court. An hour before that one, we got this one. President Trump wants you to have this. When President Trump signed rally speech, contribute 250, contribute 100, contribute 50, 45, or you have to click on any amount. That was an hour before that one. Then skip one email. The next email is in honor of football season starting. He's doing something for his best freedom-loving patriots. They're going. Herschel Walker, football legend, has hand-signed a Trump special edition football
Folder. Oh.
and wants you to have it.
Yeah.
Skip.
You want a top secret folder signed by Herschel Walker.
Skip 2 emails. I unlocked a double entry offer for you. Skip 1 email. Ivana Trump, my husband's new book is out now. This is all today already. Skip 2
That's-
emails. Donald Trump, fake news alert. Right after that one, Ivanka Trump, my husband has signed his new book for you. It's every email on this page. It's the biggest.
So
It's just like
Grift.
QVC, like
Yes.
just constant.
but it worked. He made $250 million off these rubes. And you people out there that have given this man money, do you understand? He would piss on your dead body and not even give a shit. I don't, and it's these people, and I don't, is it because, I keep thinking, is it because he's an idiot like me? So I'm going to help him. Because he's not. He doesn't give a shit about you.
No, I think that he, most importantly, like Goebbels, learned say the lie and repeat it
Yep.
over and over and over
Make
and
them the
over and
victim.
over.
Mhm.
And then what he
Scare
did
them.
was fear.
Yep.
That's all it is. My brother Jeffrey in Denver said that the other day. He operates on fear, which racism is rooted in fear.
Yep.
Fear of losing something you have.
That's why-
they're taking your guns.
They're focused on always the border because it's scary
Mhm.
and people and monsters are coming in.
Yeah.
So we're the ones who are going to fix this and
Yeah.
stop the monsters from attacking you.
And yet, when you look at the facts, that graph we posted on last week,
We have major problems at our border. That's granted, but
Yeah.
we've had major
Yes,
problems at
right.
our border for a long time.
well, and they also forget that some of our major problems stopped when Reagan gave 11 million immigrants amnesty. So Reagan did that, and also Trump. We looked at the graph. We found the graph from the CBP. Trump was stopping. They were stopping 600,000.
Mhm.
Biden's stopping 2 million a year. That means they're catching people, signing them up. Whether they're letting them in or not, they know where they are and what their names are, and they have ID. He's
They don't know where they are.
They're apprehending
They
people.
don't know where they are. It never.
But I'm just saying
quite
that.
works
So
like
how
that.
many were getting through when Trump was president that they never even stopped? They never even had him sign a piece of paper. I mean, Biden is literally stopping more than double what Trump was stopping.
I definitely believe and have been told by people in law enforcement that are in my family and that are in our friend group that less were coming in during Trump because he scared the shit out of them. I think we can all agree that family separation is the most heinous thing that this country has. Well, no, there's so many other heinous things. Can't say most heinous. Is a heinous thing that this country did. I'm so tired of people saying, oh, kids in cages started under Obama. What happened under Trump specifically never happened. You had infants taken away from their
Parents,
mothers, and then we lost them. We couldn't figure out where we had sent them to pair these minors back with their parents. That was pure insanity.
3,000 minors lost their parents.
I know that we have law enforcement people that are frustrated under this administration, that voted for him, that want him in, but wish that he would tighten up his border policies and positions. So,
but they're catching people. They're stopping them now. Whether they're letting them in the country or not, that's something else. Whether they're giving them letting them come in and work, that's another thing. They are stopping up to 2 million people this fiscal year.
We should ask one of those people that specifically work in that position if they could speak anonymously, if we didn't show video.
Tell you what, I will come back next week. I will do some research this week, and I'll find that. You know me.
Let's ask him.
I want to know the reality. And guess what? If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong.
And I'd like to see the results of the people that, let's say, they got through.
Yeah.
Immigrants got through. Are we seeing any numbers changing in some of these, like sanctuary
Well,
cities or something?
I know sanctuary city is a misnomer. It's such a fucking misnomer.
Yeah.
Explain to me what that means. People where they're taken care of. Well, Seattle's always been where there was always homeless people because they had policies to take care of them. We had a problem in the Central Valley the last couple of years where we didn't have enough workers to pick the fucking fruit. We didn't have workers. They couldn't do it. And they tried to send white people in doing it. Guess what? Lasted less than half a day.
Doug Stanhope, two
Perfect,
decades ago,
Yep.
had a brilliant bit about that. But anyway,
Doug Stanhope is brilliant.
he is brilliant. And that was however long ago that was. He
Right.
had to do that bit because people have been complaining about this border issue.
Taking my job.
forever.
Dude, if your job is picking cabbage and you want that job, you really need to reevaluate.
You want to fight for that job?
yeah. Is that the job you want? Really?
So come see us. Hartford, only a few tickets left on the 22nd. Derry, New Hampshire, where we've never been, on the 23rd. And Wilbur Theater in Boston on the 24th.
And here's the thing. Boston, I'm sure you're going to be a lot more amenable to this show than Scotland was. You know why? Because it's fucked up in Boston. people have lived a tough life in Boston, and it's weird.
It's northeast.
It was just freaking. It freaked me out how they were like, oh, what, the government takes care of it. Your parents, what happened? And they were. I was like, I felt weird about it. In fact, the sound guy, Magnus, came back one night, and I go, I guess it's a little too dark to me. He goes, yeah, it's a little stressful to watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? It's joke after joke after joke. It's a little stressful.
So come and see it and decide for yourselves. We're back on the road next weekend.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor. Go to ChristopherTitus.com. Please, for God's sakes, help the podcast out and get that special on Moment House. You will like it. Zero Side Effects is I think it's one of my best. It's in top two. Top two, top three, maybe.
And Bannon was released without bail. I finally found it.
Without bail?
Yes.
That's bullshit.
Wait,
But there was a request, I read the other day, to pull his passports and to bar him from getting
Out of
any
his hair.
kind of travel documents.
And speaking of Bill Barr, by the way, Bill Barr just got his ass handed to him by one of the guys at work.
Jeffrey
Berman just released a book because Barr's been going like, Trump's bad, we need to get rid of Trump. And then this guy released the book this week's like, yeah, here's all the shit that Barr did. And then he's been being interviewed. So it's good.
So he's
guys, pay attention. Scream sanity. Listen, as loud as they scream insanity, scream sanity back. Shut them up, because we're on the ragged edge of losing democracy. We really are.
Shout out to Princess Anne. We see you.
We love you, Princess Anne.
Number 16.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Now,
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
It's not always a fun fact.
It's not always. They're not always fun.
Roughly every 6 days in the world,
Mhm.
a country celebrates its independence from Britain. It's the most widely celebrated holiday in the world. Now,
Wow, that was very relevant. That was, how did you do that?
Nice wrap up. That's perfect. So every 6 days, some country, because the thing was, you guys
says, "Fuck you, Britain."
Yeah. We got rid of those assholes.
Including
So-
us.
So
It's
here's
the
the
most
thing,
wide. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I said that Queen Elizabeth spoke was the only other leader they've let speak at Congress, and I said that had to be an awkward day.
It's good to be back. Sorry, not really well. Oh, I didn't mean that way. You know, we know what I mean.
But that's so the sun never set on the British Empire. That was a phrase for many years, and they've lost so many countries over the year. I love that they saw. All right, well, that's a great way to wrap
It's
it up.
interesting. Let me
You
just
brought it
say
full
this because
circle, man. Good job.
I do have to go do an interview, but it's interesting that we escaped the UK
Tyranny.
because of
And tea.
largely because of religious oppression.
Question, right?
And
Now-
now
They're trying to legislate, make it a
through
Christian country.
religion
Yes.
and saying that's what the founding fathers wanted.
Mhm.
So where are we going to go and celebrate independence
The
from the
first-
United
from the US.
States?
By
From
the
the
way,
South.
it shows. I'm gonna end with this.
I
It
nominate
shows.
a Caribbean island.
It shows how stupid the people that are currently in charge of our country are, that they don't even know how this country was founded.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Hylinder. Later.
Peace out.
There can be only one.